Hi and welcome to Daily TFT Tips. Let me paint you guys a short picture. Imagine you took the augment Salvage Bin. So every time you build an item and you sell the item, you sell the unit, then both the components end up falling apart. Well, let's say you have an Aurelia here with a cloak and you're like, yeah, I really want to build an infinity edge on her for whatever reason. So now let's say you put the infinity edge on the Ziggs and you sell the Ziggs. Well, both of the components will fly off. You can't get your infinity edge on this Aurelia without completing an item with a cloak first, right? So you'd have to build a BT first before you could actually build the infinity edge. Well, the thing is, in this video, I will show you 5 different ways to circumvent this problem. Obviously, some of them are going to be niche, but I still think it's going to be a pretty interesting one. So stay until the end. Example number 1. So we're just going to stay on the Aurelia example. And this one is an easy one because she's a scrap unit. So let me just roll the clip for now. So as you can see, Aurelia has a cloak. If I don't do anything in the fight, she's gonna end up transforming the cloak herself into a QSS. So the goal right now is to get an infinity edge on the Aurelia. Well, with scrap that's really easy to circumvent the salvage bin. All you have to do is, well, see here I built the infinity edge, but I can't, right? So all I have to do is just wait for scrap to start. Once scrap starts and the cloak auto transforms into a QSS in this case, then yeah, I don't really need to do anything. I can build all the items I want during the combat. Just make sure that you're finished. Just make sure that you put up the items before the combat is finished. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with an auto combine that you don't want to. But yeah, if it's scrap units, it's pretty easy to circumvent the salvage bin rule. For example number 2, we have a Renata with a cloak. So for this case, for this example, let's say we want to give her a jeweled gauntlet. Well, I can't, right? The components are dropping off. I think this is a pretty fun one. So let's buy ourselves a 1-cost unit and feed it to Tom Kench. So yeah, you're gonna need a Tom Kench for this one and you're gonna lose 1 gold. But the thing is, Tom doesn't destroy items. Tom spits out the items of the champions that he eats. So if you're ever in this position and you end up having access to a Tom Kench, all you can do is just put the items onto champions that you can feed to Tom Kench, preferably cheap ones. You can even sell the Tom Kench afterwards, and you can circumvent the rule with the salvage bin. So for the next example, we're going to be using item priorities. So as you know that the board tends to get prioritized over the bench, and also Thieves' Gloves tend to get prioritized over other items. So just as an example, now I'm using the Renata here, but you can use any cheap type of unit. So we're going to be giving one of the Renatas the items that we want to drop. We want to put those items on a different unit. Okay, so here we have in Bloodthirster and Last Whisper on one of the Renata, and the other one takes the Thieves' Gloves. So if I combine to Renata 2-star now, then the BT and the Last Whisper will drop because the Thieves' Gloves takes priority. And now I can, by this theory, give her the BT and the Last Whisper, and sort of like I managed to get the items in a stable form, so I'm able to apply them however I want to. It does require Thieves' Gloves, but I still think it's a pretty neat trick. The next one is honestly more of an honorable mention, but I know if I don't include it, then people will mention it. So yeah, Magnetic Remover and Reforge are obviously consumables that you can use, well, if your item bench isn't full. But yeah, they're consumables that you can use. They're not selling anything, right? So the items don't break apart. So in this case, I'll just use the remover and can move the items from one unit to another one. Nothing special, but I figured I'll just include it for this one. So from my last example, I decided let's just include also a rule about unique items. So as you know, there's items that you can't put on a champion twice. For example, something like Infinity Edge or Zephyr. So if we end up building 2 of those unique items and we combine those units, then one of those items, similar to the rule with the Thieves' Gloves, will end up bouncing off because you can't have two Zephyrs on the same Victor. So this is, for example, you can sort of like take a cheap upgrade if you end up having two Zephyrs, and this way you could combine the unit, one of the Zephyrs would drop up, and allows you to last second place it on a unit that you normally wouldn't be able to. Obviously, this is a bit of a niche case, but I mean, this video is also about the theory of what is possible, and if you ever end up pulling off a play like this, I'm pretty sure you'd be pretty hyped. So I think that was it for me today. See you guys tomorrow.